If everybody could make your way into this room, and on your way, make sure you drop in your votes for the People's Choice Award and the Fish Bowl on your way in. We would appreciate it. We'll get started here in the not too distant future.
Good evening. Wow, good job. Good evening, everyone. My name is Courtney Kingery. I have the pleasure of serving as the CEO of the Indiana Soybean Alliance. So it is my privilege to welcome you to the 30th annual Student Soybean Innovation Competition. So really you here. Tonight we will honor the original and thought-provoking work of student teams in this year's Student Soybean Innovation Competition. This is the 30th competition, which is the partnership between Purdue University and the Indiana Soybean Alliance. This event has become an annual celebration of the Indiana soybean farmers' investment in the future of the bioeconomy. It highlights the creativity and innovation of Purdue students looking to create new products with the state's most versatile crop, soybeans. But before we get too far into this, I want to recognize a couple folks that we have here around the room. First off, as we talked about that this is a partnership between Purdue University and Indiana Soybean Alliance, I'd like to recognize Vice President of Research, Dr. Karen Plout. She was in here earlier. And also Dr. Bernie Engel, Dean of the Department of Agriculture. So thank you guys for your support there. We also have some of the other players and other leaders in the Indiana ag economy and the ag bioscience space. So first off, Mitch Frazier, CEO of Agronovus Indiana. You'll hear a little bit from Mitch earlier this evening. Becky with Indiana Poultry, I saw her sneak in. And I think I saw Bruce Kettler. Where's Becky? There's Becky. Bruce Kettler, CEO of Agribusiness Council of Indiana. I think I saw Bruce in here somewhere too. I don't know where Bruce is. Bruce was here. In addition to that, we've got a couple special guests from some of the partners that we have within Indiana Soybean Alliance. Alex and Matt from Andretti IndyCar, they're around here somewhere, so happy to have you guys here. We also have Bailey from the American Lung Association and Pete from Indigenous Energy, so happy to have you guys here as well. Bailey's doing his official wave over there at the end. Tonight we celebrate the hard work of 15 teams that consist of 48 students, 19 faculty advisors competing for the $20,000 grand prize. The Indiana Soybean Alliance works to enhance the visibility of Indiana soybean farmers around the globe with the effective and efficient investment of the soybean checkoff. The state soybean checkoff works to assist farmers through the strategic initiatives in 4 areas. We've got market development, economic, social, and environmental sustainability, value creation, and producer engagement. The Student Soybean Innovation Competition is one of the many ways Indiana adds value to soybeans in the value creation. Turning the page. There we go. Indiana Soybean Alliance is led by an elected 24-member volunteer board that represents every corner of the state. If you are a current Indiana Soybean Alliance director, will you please stand and be recognized? If we have any past directors in the room, do we have any retired or past ex officios in the room? I don't think so. A few of them? Oh, Matthew, there we go, we do. Good to see you guys. So now I would like to introduce Dr. Nate Mosier. He is head of the Department of Ag and Biological Engineering, ABE, here at Purdue University, and he's also the Indiana Soybean Alliance Soybean Utilization Endowed Chair. Nate will discuss the history of the competition, projects, and some of the students. So Nate.
Courtney, thank you very much for the kind introduction. And on behalf of all of us here at Purdue University, welcome to all of our guests visiting here with us on campus today. So 30 years, wow, what a long partnership. And if you've been watching the basketball games, and I'm sure many of you in the room have been, you may have seen some of the advertisements that are happening during the commercial breaks. And one of the taglines that we like to use at Purdue is a paraphrase from one of our more famous alumni, Neil Armstrong, and we talk about small steps and giant leaps, and talking about small steps that lead to those bigger innovations, those bigger changes that change our daily life. And I reflect back on 30 years ago, a conversation with my predecessor in this role as the new uses endowed chair, Dr. Bernie Tao, with a little idea. What if we had a way to encourage students to apply the kinds of things that they're learning and innovate and develop new products using soybeans? And a wide array of products have come out of this over the years. Many of them have been commercialized. Many of them are adding value to the growers here in Indiana and around the nation that producing the soybeans that go into these products that are affecting our lives and the lives of our citizens here in the U.S. today. So Courtney asked me also to talk a little bit about the path that got the students here as well. And so since I brought up the basketball game and everybody's kind of thinking about basketball, we have kind of a sweet 15 here tonight that are waiting to see what is coming of the judging that's going to be announced here in a little bit. And like any road to the Sweet 16 and the Sweet 15, it's a lot of hard work. And so we have some rookies on our teams this year, students that are coming at the competition for the first time. We have some veterans that are coming back again, their second time, in a few cases their third time, and a few that might even have done it a bit more than that. But every season starts anew, and so every year the teams have to start fresh and anew, and there's a number of milestones that they have to accomplish before they can make it to the Sweet 15 as we have this year. So milestone number one, they need to form a team, find other students, and find 2 faculty mentors, one on technical aspects and one on more business aspects. Like any good team, they need good coaches, and so I really want to appreciate our faculty mentors that are helping our student teams get to this final Sweet 15. If you are one of the faculty mentors in the audience, would you please stand up or raise your hand and be recognized? Thank you all very much. Assembling these teams is no small task, and it's a team effort to manage all of this. And so I really wish to thank Ms. Mickey Creech, who makes all of this happen, and then I know all the students know her well. They have interacted with her throughout all of this. So Mickey, where are you at? Working hard in the back. So Mickey, thank you. Recruiting a top talent takes a lot of effort, and Mickey had talked to more than 6,500 students this start of the fall semester here on campus. That's about 1 in 8 students that attend Purdue University had a conversation, saw a presentation from Mickey, and helped form a team. Milestone number 1. Milestone number 2, they had to come up with a new product idea. Even if they were in the competition last year, they have to come up with a new idea for this competition. They had to make sure that it wasn't already entered in the competition in one of the 29 previous competitions. There's been a lot of great ideas that have been put forward. They needed to make sure that there wasn't some other smart individuals around the U.S., around the world, that had developed a similar product and already had it being in production and on the marketplace. If they can identify that, convince their coaches that they had a new product, they could move on to the next phase and get into the lab and start trying to figure out how to make one of these innovative products. Milestone 3. If you've got a good idea and you've got a good team, and these teams are very broad and diverse, like any good basketball team, you can't just have 5 point guards or 5 centers. You need to have someone that can play all the parts on the team. So not only do they need the technical skills to make the product, they need to convince others that it's a good idea. And so we have students that represent marketing skills, business acumen, being able to be good communicators. And so the next milestone, they need to convince a small group of judges that are made up staff members at the Indiana Soybean Alliance and me that they have an idea that might be worth moving forward with. And so there's an elimination round. The original 26 teams were whittled down to 16 or 17 at this point and made it past this milestone. And then finally, the hard push in the spring semester. They not only had to have a good idea, they needed to make that idea real, and they had to test and prove that it worked, write a report, and submit all of it to the judges, and then come and be able to, in a very crisp 10 minutes, describe their product and convince these judges, half of which are board members of the Indiana Soybean Alliance, half are industry professionals that know their stuff and have invested their company's dollars and investors' dollars in real products, convince them they had a good idea and a good product. We are going to hear tonight the outcome of these judges and their evaluation of these outstanding teams. And I know all of you have taken the time to walk around and talk to many of these student teams and heard their really innovative ideas, seen the hard work they put in, and remember, they've all been doing this while earning a degree here at Purdue University. This was a side project. This was not part of their academic curriculum. This was something they were doing on the side, truly to go above and beyond and convert their small steps into giant leaps. And so with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Mitch Frazier. Mitch is the CEO of Agronovus Indiana, which is a nonprofit organization focused on growing Indiana's ag bioscience economy. The Indiana Soybean Alliance partners with Agronovus on several programs, including a competition called the Producer-Led Innovation Challenge that takes place each fall. Mitch will be moderating a panel with last year's People's Choice and prize-winning team, Styrosoy, now Soyalov. Welcome, Mitch, and last year's winning team to the stage.
It's so good to be back here and talking with Styrosoy, now Soyalov. Last year at this time, they were both, as Dr. Mosier just shared, the winner and the People's Choice winners. Go ahead and have a seat. And it's fascinating as you think back, team, to this time last year. You were just wrapping up a ton of work. And if we look at what's happened even over the last 12 months, well, and I've seen you two since then, but if we look at what's happened over the last 12 months, give us an idea. How did you create the idea, Styrosoy, now Soyalov, and what's happened since?
Okay. So thank you, Mitch, for that question. It's kind of nostalgic to look in the back, the entire path that we have been through. So this idea of replacement for styrofoam came it started to build up like 2 years and a half ago. So I went in a life cycle assessment class, and one morning Mickey came to class and I started to talk about the student soybean competition. And I thought, well, that is amazing to have the opportunity to create a novel product, something that comes from your mind, and to have the ability to go to the lab and build that product. It sounds just amazing. And also to have the opportunity to patent that product is like right away. So I came home, I talked to Val, we are a couple. So she started to read about the competition as well, and it was like fantastic. So at that time we didn't have the time to participate, but we came to the ceremony that year to learn about the competition, how the products were created. So from that point to last year, so we let some ideas to percolate. And meanwhile, as a PhD student, I had to move a lot of instruments and glassware from one building to another. So I had to buy a lot of styrofoam to protect all of this. So when I was floating with peanuts, styrofoam peanuts, I thought there must be a better idea. There must be something that you can create with soy. So we discussed it as a team. So when we started like 18 months ago, in the first session, we consolidated the team. We met Alisa and Amy at that time. We brainstormed 10 different ideas, and the replacement for styrofoam was like the most attractive for the technical perspective, the business perspective, and also the potential behind solving a real problem that we have currently, which is styrofoam everywhere, even inside our bodies.
As you think about that moment, that eureka moment, where you said, okay, I'm moving all of this glassware, we've got to figure out a better way. Val, he comes home and says, hey, I've got this idea. What was your reaction? And then how did you go from that to co-opting two other really bright young people to say, let's go on this journey together?
I have to say that we were between that and a fertilizer, and I was really rooting for that. I had like this pharmacy idea on how to do it, but then I started listening to him and reading about all the problems, the health problems that styrofoam causes, and I was like, let's do this. And we were like, hey, Alisa and Amy, we got this idea. Are you on board? And we knew it wasn't easy in the beginning. We didn't have a clue of how tough it was to develop the product, but it was a great decision that we made as a team.
Let's hear more about what this product is. I was blown away with it last year. You think about packing a big box and the blown-in the insulation, the packaging material. You've created a way to foam soybeans to create a packaging material. Share what the product actually is and what's happened since you won last year and how are you commercializing this product?
So for those who don't know, our product was formerly known as Styrosoy, and now it's called Soya Love for legal reasons. So Soya Love is a compostable and biodegradable foam derived from soybeans and 67% soybean-based. And one of the achievements that we had is that we don't use any toxic foaming agents, and this is why our product is so amazing, let's say like that. Yes, we don't produce microplastics, and we have the same rate of success as a styrofoam, let's say like that. Right now, during this year, since we won, we've been working on getting the full patent. Right now, we are already submitting it. We also have been working in the business side and trying to lower the costs, so we are more competitive in the market. And for the next the next 6 months, we are also working on the next discovery workshop. Sorry, I'm really bad with names. So we can really understand the business side, the marketing side, and understand our company goals so we can grow and be successful in this side. And in the last year, we also participated in the Soy Innovation Competition. We were one of the semi-finalists between 69 already set companies. We were one of the youngest ones in the competition, which is really cool. And at that time, our company was about 3 days old. So it was really cool to be one of the semi-finalists, and it's something that our team is really proud of.
I love the focus on youth and just run. How did you navigate this? So you all talk about this as this is your daily job, and we're running Soya Love, and that's just what we do. You're all students, 2 PhD students, if I remember correctly, 2 undergrad students. Walk us through, how do you balance building a company and actually doing well here at school?
So I have to say that is one of the most challenging aspects, time management. As a graduate student, you have to be in charge of the lab, of junior students. You have to do well in your research. You have to come up with novel ways on how to solve problems. But we managed to do things in a faster but effective way and always communicating with the team. So I think the key for our now company, Soya Lab, is always have an open communication and have respect of each one's time and always be kind and mindful of everyone's schedule. But it has been tough. It has been a hike, but we have enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, for the undergraduate side, I don't know if many of you are undergraduates, but if you can remember your undergraduate years, it was probably pretty hectic. And I'm a double major. I'm in biological engineering and pharmaceutical sciences, so I'm going to be here for 5 years, unfortunately. Fortunately. And Alyssa, she has a minor in
Food science.
Food science. I knew that. So it was busy work between trying to like study for classes, having evening exams, and trying to work on a product that we are really passionate about. And something that worked really well with our team with time management is that we had set times to go to the lab, and those were the hours that we were like, okay, we are not gonna think about any academic work, and we are gonna work in our product, something that we are really passionate about. But we also had very flexible hours. It kind of sounds like a job now that I say it like that. But we also had really flexible hours for the written part. So all our business plans or marketing analysis, we had flexible hours to work on it. So having this balance between dedicating a couple of hours during the week for like a certain times of the week, does it make sense? A certain hours of the week, and also having this flexibility worked pretty well with our team. And knowing, being, like Valeria said, really kind to each other and understanding of like our priorities and what we had going through during the week, it was something that worked really well, and we still do it to this day.
Yeah.
Basically said everything.
There are so many good lessons learned along the way, and we don't need to know all the details about Styrosoy becoming Soyalov, but you think about the markers of success. You had the idea, you built a team, you win an award, and at some point maybe you got a cease and desist letter, but it's exciting, but what a massive validation. And so many times that I've seen both of you, you can just feel the energy, you can see the energy. We look all the way down there on the other end. And 12 months ago, you were down there as well. And if you can, speak into all of those students, all the innovators who are down there. What are they going through? What advice would you give them as they get ready for tonight and then beyond tonight?
Well, it's so weird to think that this was like a whole year ago. I kind of remember it like it was yesterday. Like I remember feeling all the emotions. Definitely so much excitement. These students have been working so hard for the past few months, bringing like just a mere idea into like creating their product. And there's definitely so much excitement and pride in showing the world what you've made. Along with that, there's also so much like anticipation for the results. Like one of my favorite parts of this competition is the fact that the students don't know the results yet. So like each of the reactions to these results is like raw and real. And that's what I really like about that.
So good. Any other thoughts?
So my advice, it could sound like a little bit cliche, but everything is related to hard work and discipline. So keep working on your dreams and they will become true. But the second part will be like Indiana Soybean Alliance and AgriNovus are tremendous partners and allies. So we have found tremendous support on both parts. Either on the media recognition, but also on the patent aspects and also connecting to other people. So my advice will be like, connect with them, be open, be also willing to work, even beyond the competition to create your product, try to bring that product to market and to try to make a difference.
Yeah, well said. Go, Val, you want to add one more thought?
Yeah, I just have a final thing to say, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose today. Think about all the learnings that you have acquired by now, all the troubleshooting in the lab, coming up with an idea, working as a team, then pitching to amazing judges, pitching to people you don't know. So all those learnings are really building on you, and you are growing as a professional and as a person. So take that with you forever and keep that creativity and curiosity up because the possibilities are endless. So definitely keep going at it and keep working towards your dreams. They can become a reality. Even the idea might sound crazy, but it can become a reality. Yeah.
It is so good. Not a start line, or not a finish line, but a start line. Lots ahead for Soyalov, formerly known as Styrosoy, and a whole bunch of really interesting innovators that we'll get to see tonight. Please help me thank and congratulate and cheer on the team at Soyalov.
Thank you, Mitch, Soyalav, for being here. It's really exciting to hear that interview, the conversation, some of the feedback. There's some things that, we've had a lot of conversations over the last year, but things I learned today, hearing your story was really inspiring and great. So we appreciate it. All the work you've done, and last year and since, it's really inspiring for all of us. So my name is Ben Forsyth. I'm the Director of Sustainability and Value Creation for Indiana Soybean Alliance. I'm here just to say a few more thank yous. I know the teams over here are really ready to hear the results, and so I'm the last person you have to listen to, and then we're to you, promise. But I do have to say a few more thank yous. One would be to Dr. Mosier. Thank you for not only being here, but your expertise and the expertise of the ones that came before you. Without that, we would not be celebrating the 30th year of this competition, without a doubt. So we appreciate all the time, energy, and effort that goes into creating tonight. Tonight's a couple-hour competition or a couple-hour celebration, but there are hours upon hours, both from a staff perspective and a research and input from the team's perspective that all culminates here in a few minutes. I also need to say thank you to our advisors. I know that Dr. Mosier said this earlier, but I wanted to call it out from a Soybean Alliance perspective as well. Without the expertise of the faculty and the time that they put into it, this obviously would not work either. I was talking to Dr. Laddish earlier today. He took on 5 teams at one point during the course of this competition. 2 made it to the finish line, but he said yes to 5, which I think is a really big deal. And there's lots of others that have said yes to multiple teams as well, but I think it's a really telling to the competition, to the students that get involved, that the faculty are that willing and excited to be a part of the competition. So thank you for that. And kind of to that point, I want to talk about the long tail of what this competition kind of creates, both from a student perspective and from a faculty perspective. Last fall, I was sitting in my office, and I got a phone call from West Lafayette, not a number I knew, but I picked it up. And it was one of our former advisors calling to tell me about a recent finding he had that was going to be published in Nature. So we had a great, engaging conversation for 20, 30 minutes, whatever it ended up being. At the end, I asked, why'd you call Indiana Soybean Alliance? It was a soybean-related product, but why did you think ISA, and why'd you call me to talk about it? And it turns out he had been an advisor for some of the teams over the course of the years, and it built the brand for us and for the farmers of the state that we're interested in these kind of technologies and these kind of innovations. And so that technology is one that's working its way through. It's probably a long way from seeing the market, but it's one that for sure will make some waves. So I think there's a really long tail there on the faculty perspective, but 2, we have 48 students here today that all have the idea of soybean being a good solution to problems they will face throughout their careers. And this is a group of 48. This is the 30th, but there's 29 cohorts before them that had that same experience. So I think from what that can do for the soybean industry, it's tough to measure, but it's definitely a worthwhile investment. And I think it's definitely it's something that we can all say thank you to the boards and the organizations before that got us to today. So a couple last thank yous, then we'll get on to the video and introducing the teams. But I also want to say thank you to the board members, the directors for the Indiana Soybean Alliance that were judges, Roger Baumer, Jason Masinik, Brian Morpup, and Alan Buchanan. So we appreciate you all and the time that you put in to being a judge, both the day of and the reading of the business plans beforehand. We also want to thank the industry experts and the advisors. I know Dr. Mosier mentioned this earlier, but it's really impressive, and I appreciate your time to come over here. Tom Kilcoyne from Next Consulting was here. Britt Walker from ADM, who I believe is here today. Britt, thank you for your time and expertise, not only this year, but Britt, how many years have you been a judge? The 6th year. So we really appreciate the time and honestly, the energy you put into judging day is really appreciated. We also had Lisa Zentner from Craftco, who flew in from Phoenix to be a judge. Craftco is who we licensed Port Shield to last summer, so it was great to make that connection as well. So, teams, now it's time to get to know who you are and see what your innovations were. So, that.
created Soy Shine, an edible fruit and vegetable wax, and it's replacing the current industry standard, which has morpholin-based emulsifying agent. And this chemical, when you ingest it, breaks down into nitrous amines, which are carcinogenic compounds in your body.
We ended up making so many connections through this competition. We were able to procure a ton of apples. We also partnered with a company from Massachusetts that helped us further develop our product, and it was really great to make all those connections.
We are Team Soy Sheets, and we created a dual-functional laundry detergent plus dryer sheet combo.
Soy Sheets has less toxins than the Tide Pods and Earth-Free sheets.
What makes us proudest is obviously our product Soy Sheets, combining two things that people use on a daily basis, being both a laundry detergent and a dryer sheet.
Growing up on a farm in Indiana, soybeans were a part of my life. So just being able to expand upon what we can use soybeans for, even having like the creation idea of even like soy sheets is something that I never thought would happen.
We're Team Soy Silk Baby Wipes. We created the first plastic-free, biodegradable baby wipes that are made from soybean. We have 92% of soy-based content in our product that we are really proud of.
Being able to see our prototype outperform the leading sustainable wipe was a really special feeling because all of our hard work went towards something and we were able to produce a higher quality item than anything else on the market. Everyone wears multiple hats. I'm a business student, but I was helping him in the lab some days. He's in the lab, but he's also helping me with like patent search. I didn't know what a soybean was until I got here. I'm not from Indiana, so just learning about them as a resource, and now I value them as super valuable and versatile. You just see every product every team makes. It's so impressive.
We created Soyless Nails, which is a soy-based nail strip that incorporates 92% soy.
It's a safer alternative than the current competitors on the product, so it won't damage your nails, and it's also environmentally safe.
I think we probably had at least 15 or 20 iterations that we had to do to get the prototype to the final stage. Research that we had to do is something that we will take when we go into industry or if we go into research roles, and it's a skill that I think will really benefit all of us. I thought it was a great experience to kind of get out of my comfort zone and get some more experience within the lab. I was a little skeptical that we were actually going to be able to make a product completely out of soy, so that was really cool to see.
We are Resoy. We created a thermosetting resin to replace the polyethylene linings on paper coffee cups. We aim to solve the issue of paper cups not being recyclable. Very few recycling facilities are able to recycle cups that have a polyethylene lining, so we wanted to make a lining that would allow cups to be biodegradable and easily recyclable. It was really hard for us to find patents to base our cup off of, and it's a good opportunity to see how you can work around something without that help.
I think these competitions provide you a background of the product life cycles in the industry, from the product ideation to formulations and making a prototype to market our product.
Our team created Insectisoy. Its purpose is to prevent insects from infiltrating your home, and it solves the problem that most store-bought insect repellents contain harmful chemicals that present a problem towards you and pets or family members.
Our product has performed on par with all of its competitors, name brand and generic, but it is much more cost-effective and environmentally friendly.
We've learned that just the soybean in general has a lot of really helpful properties that make it extremely useful when you're trying to come up with, especially something like this competition, a novel product.
There's very little reason someone could come to me and say why they shouldn't do this competition. You get all kinds of skills, from soft to hard skills. You get connections within the school and throughout the industry. And you also get skills, hands-on skills, doing research and working in teams that you just would not get otherwise.
We're behind Soybox.
The future of liquid cartons. Anything liquid and consumable that gets packaged in a liquid carton, and we made that fully soy-based. We reduced the costs,
as well as CO2 emissions from production, and our product is the only one that's biodegradable on the market. We were originally going for making a box, and we realized after more research into the production process that pellets are used as a precursor to the entire process. So our final product is actually Soybox pellets.
This competition has taught me a lot about research and development, the whole patent application process, just developing a product from idea to the industry. It goes through the entire thing.
We created a soybean-based chewing gum. We
use soy components to substitute current components to make it healthier and more environmentally friendly. Current chewing gum contains plastics, and as you know, plastics aren't digestible.
We had to make sure that our gum base was something that wasn't going to fall apart. So we knew we needed cornstarch because that is one ingredient that kind of holds stuff together. But we also wanted to incorporate a lot more soybean usage, so we used soy flour.
The biggest challenge, at least at the very beginning for us, was finding a product that was novel and used soybeans, especially since this competition has been going on for like 30 years or so. So that was kind of my take from it.
We created a soy-based, water-soluble probiotic fertilizer.
We used bacteria called Bacillus subtilis, which we made by inoculating soybeans with the culture. A lot of farmers spend a lot of money doing crop rotations just to keep their soil viable. But we wanted to try and create a product that helps mitigate those processes.
I just really like the ability to end this competition with something that we made. We thought of this idea, we saw it through. I think that's really awesome that we're here today.
Our team created a soy-based cigarette filter that's environmentally friendly and biodegradable. The problem it solves is the fact that cigarette butts are one of the most littered items on the planet.
The potential of products that you can make out of soy is even larger. Aside just from our product that we created, there's so many things you can make, and I think it's very interesting that soy is such a versatile ingredient for a variety of different industries.
At the end of it, you learn skills in business, engineering, design, marketing, lab time, and a lot of time management as well. So I would recommend this very highly over many experiences.
420 million people suffer with diabetes throughout the world, and 3 in 4 are in middle to low income countries who have limited access to healthcare. So we wanted to solve that issue by designing a test for measuring the glucose levels in blood without the use of electronic equipment.
So the advantage of this over any other test strip is that it's colorimetric, so that means that you can use it without an electronic meter. It's more affordable, so our test strip should cost about 6 cents per test strip, as opposed to, at the lowest, you can get a test strip for about 20 cents.
In any aspect of work, you're going to need to be able to research and work out a problem independently, which is what this whole project is about, creating a product by yourselves and then marketing it. And I think that those instill skills which will be useful in any aspect, in any area of professional life.
Our product is the Ambrosia Bar. It's a soy-based chocolate bar. It kind of serves as a healthier alternative to conventional chocolate.
Our product also contains a lot of protein. It has a high fiber content.
It's a very rewarding experience. It does take a lot of commitment. Well, this is going to be like a featured part of my resume.
Participating in the competition generally and seeing it to the finish line actually tells potential employers about your resilience and your ability to start something and see it through.
We are Team Soyper. We created a soy-based paperboard looking to address creating a more sustainable and more natural and less toxic cardboard.
Our paperboard, it doesn't include any carcinogen, which are rarely used in the current paperboard making processes, which are toxic to humans. I definitely think it was interesting being able to develop a business plan, because in the majority of my classes, they're all kind of theory-based, and so it was really cool being able to kind of apply that theory, but in like more of a real-world scenario.
We created Green Eggs No Ham, a novel soy-based egg substitute that can be used in baking, scrambling, and more.
With a mixture of protein isolates, starches, etc., we created, using only vegetable sources, an egg source that has the binding properties and similar frying properties to that of an egg.
I stepped into this competition because I wanted an experience just like this, somewhat research experience while also creating something that I'm proud of and was really wanting to do. It's just a great learning experience for you to get your foot in the door in this type of world and work with some great people along the way.
We created Soy Aid, a self-adhesive bandage. It solves the issue of obviously plastics getting in the ecosystem in the wound care market, but it also solves the issue of
bringing nutrients directly to the wound site.
The DOS pad itself is made of soy protein isolates, which improves wound healing. There's soy oil, which helps with inflammation and antibacterial properties. And the backing itself is coated with soy wax to serve as a waterproof layer. I didn't realize how much soy was produced by Indiana alone and like the United States and the world, and that really puts stuff in perspective. And like Danae said, like there are so many uses for soy, and I think it's really great learning about like their properties and how they can be advantageous in different fields.
Great job, teams. One other thank you I forgot to add before earlier. We would not be here with nice seats and dinner and all of the things that happened without Madeline Lilly. So I apologize, I forgot to thank her earlier today, but I don't know where she is. Thank you to Madeline for making today happen. I also have to say thank you to Amber Myers for doing a lot of the work too, both on like the decorations, and she's taking photos for us today. So thanks to both of them for making today happen. With that, I will introduce the director, or the chair of the Indiana Soybean Alliance, Kevin Cox.
Good evening. It is a pleasure to be here this evening to represent the Indiana Soybean Alliance here at our student competition. I have my very own Vanna White here with me. Jenna Scott will be helping me this evening as we present the awards. First up, we're going to do the People's Choice Award. So I will announce the group that students that won that, if they would come up here whenever I introduce them, and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, all right? So the People's Choice Award this year for a $500 award is Team Insectisoy. So if I could get them to come up here.
I'm Louis Blansky. I'm a freshman in integrated business and engineering.
All right. And for the grand prize of $20,000 is awarded to Team Soy Silk.
My name is Kyle Hahn. I'm a junior in biological engineering. Sorry, I'm so nervous.
My name's Ben, and I'm a freshman in finance.
All right, guys, don't go too far. We gotta talk. We gotta learn more about. Come on, have a seat. Congratulations. Yes. So, soy-based baby wipes. We have to hear how you came up with the idea. You had a list of a whole bunch. How did this one make the top?
Yeah. So I worked. I was an intern in the R&D department of one of the biggest baby wipes company. So a lot of people was like, "Oh, so you've been working on baby wipes for a whole summer, and then now you're doing another year?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's a huge market, and then with the resources that we can utilize by ISA and Purdue, we're actually solving a global issues that's going on because all the baby wipes, 90% of them contain plastic. That's the main reason why you guys can't flush it because it's gonna clog your sewage system and stuff like that. So I'm just really nervous, but I think this is what Purdue is all about. We're innovators, so here we are.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to do stuff involving like health and stuff like that. Like we thought about a couple of pharmaceutical products at first, and our partnership with Dr. Purnell really helped because he was able to lead us in the right way.
So it was fun to get to dig into your solution a little bit tonight. Your performance, I mean, this is the piece, this goes back to maybe your experience last year. Your performance is actually better than the existing product on the market. Share more.
Yeah, so we're not just a soybean product. Like our prototype compares better than the name brand on the market. And one of the biggest acknowledgement I gotta give is from Dr. Purnell. So we came up with different solutions, like how can we make it better? Because the most visualized aspect, if it cleans better, then it is a better product. So we actually utilize soybean in every of our production aspect. We use soy lecithin as main surfactant, and that's the reason why we perform better than other baby wipes on the market. Because by using soybean, everything's just better.
I don't know how we top that. Honestly, I don't know how we top that. So you are now the winner. You're following a long, distinguished line of winners. You heard from Soyalov earlier. They've set the bar really high. What's next? Do you plan to commercialize, and how can you think about going forward?
Yeah, so that's definitely something we see in our future. And the way we see it is Soy Silk baby wipes is just the first step in commercialization. We can make other kinds of wipes using our same technology and just changing the formula a little bit for different purposes. We can make like makeup remover wipes, wipes for disinfecting surfaces. Our quality is already higher than hospital quality thickness. So we think there's a bunch of different avenues we could take this technology.
No, not really. Okay, last question for you. You have bully pulpit, which means everyone here has to listen to you. What do you need? So you think about going forward, what's the one thing you need, a couple things you need from all of these people here, from farmers to industry to people in academia? Where do you need help?
So I think one of the biggest aspects is because we all know this is proven. It's a better technology, something that we want to be on the market for everyone to use. Because we don't want to just solve the problem. Plus solving the problem, we want to give the best product to every consumer. So this technology is a proof of concept that can be going to multiple product pipeline, just what Ben said. So I think what we know, what we need the most is probably expertise or just help on support on commercializing it, either by creating our own brand or maybe we can license this technology to other manufacturing companies. But the end goal is just to bring a better product to everyone. I think I have one more thing for Ben and me, because as far as I know, both of us doesn't have any plans for the summer yet, so we're still looking for an internship. So
you closed well. How about a round of applause? Well done.
His enthusiasm, and I think that's what you call a shameless plug, I think is what they call that. All right. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight, just to see a glimpse of the future and the innovation and the opportunities that we see here on the horizon is very, very exciting, and I want to congratulate all of them. I want to thank Dr. Moser for his help and his work and dedication to this program and over the years to see that. We're representing here the Soybean Alliance, some 20,000 producers across the state of Indiana. And it's our goal to move the pile. And so any way that we can see a development of a product out here that is an opportunity that we can use more and more soybeans out here, that is a goal that will benefit all the producers in the state of Indiana. So we are very, very pleased to be able to represent them. We're excited to see the opportunities that we have here. I want to thank you all for joining us this evening and supporting this group of young innovators here. And I wish that you would all take the time to congratulate them for their hard work this evening. I'd like to invite you to come back next year and be excited about what we have on the horizon for year 31. So I think it's some pretty exciting stuff out there on the horizon. So let's give them another hand before we leave.